the last 2 decades of the NFL, no other team has dominated the league as much as the New England Patriots. Regarded as one of sports' greatest dynasties, the period of dominance under top head coach Bill Belichick and superstar quarterback Tom Brady moved well into most of the 21st century, with the Brady-Belichick era covering 2001 all the way to 2019. During this time, the Patriots claimed the records for most Super Bowl appearances, 11 in total, with 6 wins tying the NFL record with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Through numerous records and franchise achievements, the team has given much reason for fans to celebrate. But there have also been instances in Patriots history that were far from glorious, from their share of setbacks, injuries, and losses that have gutted fans. This is Sports Surge, and in this video, we're taking a look at 5 heartbreaking moments that made Patriots fans cry. Before we jump into it, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and press that notification bell for future sports videos. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 5. Darryl Stingleys' Paralysis. While the New England Patriots was mostly a generally unsuccessful franchise prior to the 2000s, they acquired some success in the 70s, earning a berth to the playoffs in 76 as a wildcard team and in 78 as AFC East champions. However, prior to the successful 1978 season, a tragic moment occurred when Patriots wide receiver Darryl Stingley suffered a spinal cord injury that paralyzed the player. Darryl Stingley was a 5-year wide receiver for the New England Patriots, who was one of the most productive drafts from the class of 1973, known for his soft hands and deep threat potential, even setting boiler markers for records of 18.2 yards per catch. His work ethic and drive made him a fan favorite, and at 6 feet and 194 pounds, seemed to have all the tools for a successful NFL career. However, in a 1978 preseason game against the Oakland Raiders, in what many has called the most violent hit in NFL history, Stingley was hit by Raiders defensive back Jack Tatum, with Stingley's helmet making contact with Tatum's shoulder pad, compressing his spinal cord and breaking his 4th and 5th cervical vertebrae. Despite regaining limited movement in his right arm, he spent the rest of his life as a quadriplegic. In 2007, Stingley passed away at the age of 55 after succumbing to heart disease and pneumonia, complicated by quadriplegia. Not only was his paralysis a shocking moment for the Patriots, but for the entire NFL. Number 4. Losing coach Fairbanks, losing to the Oilers. In 1978, the New England Patriots was invigorated and had Super Bowl aspirations, but a fateful series of decisions caused the Patriots a chance at gaining another conference championship. Prior to the playoff game leading to the AFC Championships, it was revealed that head coach Chuck Fairbanks had accepted a job as head coach at the University of Colorado and had asked the Patriots to get out of his contract, which still had 4 years remaining. Patriots owner Billy Sullivan decided to suspend Coach Fairbanks just before New England's regular season wrap-up against the Miami Dolphins, catching everyone by surprise. The Patriots were crushed in the game, but won the division on tiebreakers over the lower-ranked Dolphins, securing a playoff slot for the Patriots. Despite winning the AFC East title and securing the playoffs, animosity between Coach Fairbanks and the team became clear. Coach had lost the respect of the locker room, despite being reinstated as head coach to run the course of the remainder of the playoffs. In their very first home playoff game, the Pats were demolished by the Oilers, 31-14, knocking off New England from their dream of a championship that year. Following the game, Coach Fairbanks officially left the team for good, with a settlement agreement between Fairbanks and the team making Fairbanks liable if he took another NFL job within the next 5 years. Number 3. Super Bowl 46. In 2012, after a revitalized 8 consecutive win during the playoffs, the New England Patriots had a chance to claim their 4th Super Bowl championship. But first, they had to go through the New York Giants in what was a rematch of Super Bowl 42, with the game being the first Super Bowl played at the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. The hype was high, with broadcasts of the game breaking records as the most-watched program in American television history, with an estimated total audience of 166.8 million. The game was intense, with the Giants taking an early lead and the Patriots surging in the second and third quarter, with 17 unanswered points, with the Patriots leading the New York Giants 17-15 late in the fourth quarter. New England was looking for another touchdown to put away the game. With 4 minutes and 6 seconds remaining, Brady looked deep to Pats receiver Wes Welker, who was wide open downfield. In an unexpected turn, Welker dropped the pass, which would have given the Pats a first down closer to the end zone. The drop eventually forced a punt, eventually leading to the Giants capping off an 88-yard drive with Giants running back Ahmad Bradshaw's 6-yard game-winning touchdown with 57 seconds left in the game. The Giants eventually claimed their 4th Super Bowl in team history, defeating the Patriots 21-17. Number 2. AFC Championship Loss. In early 2007, one of the most famous rivalries in the history of the NFL, the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts faced each other for the 2006 AFC Championships. Not only was it a rivalry among two teams and its fan base, but two of the most prolific and winnable quarterbacks in the league, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. While the 2006 Patriots lineup wasn't the greatest, there were still expectations that they had it in them to win all the way to the Super Bowl. During the game, New England jumped out to a 21-6 halftime lead, and it seemed like the Pats fans were assured of the win. However, the Patriots' defense struggled in the second half, and a surge of defense stops from the Colts proved advantageous for Indianapolis. In the fourth quarter, Pats wide receiver Richie Caldwell had an easy touchdown opportunity that would have sealed the game, but he dropped the ball and it cost them at the worst time. In a crucial swing late in the fourth quarter, with the Patriots ahead 34-31, Peyton Manning engineered an 80-yard drive culminated by Colts running back Joseph Adai's 3-yard touchdown run with 1 minute to play. In what was considered as the largest comeback win in conference championship history at the time, the Colts beat the Patriots 38-34, sending the Colts to the Super Bowl, which they also won over the Chicago Bears, sending Tom Brady and the Pats bunch, along with the countless Patriot fans, home with a deep bruise. Number 1. Super Bowl 42. Leading to the 2007 Super Bowl 42, the Patriots were one win away from a perfect season and threatened to become the first team since the 1972 Miami Dolphins to do so. The team and the fan spirit were high, with the Lombardi Trophy well clear in their sights. The New York Giants, who was the wildcard team of the series, seemed like the underdog against the Pats, who were the obvious favorites owing to their possible perfect regular season. The game was tight throughout, with both teams facing low scoring due to effective defense. However, with the Pats leading 14-10 in the fourth quarter, the Giants surged into a game-winning drive. Down second with 5 yards to go, with 1:20 to play in the game, New York quarterback Eli Manning dropped back in the pocket and looked for wide receiver David Tyree down the right sideline. The ball was thrown off mark, with Pats cornerback Asante Samuel in easy position for the interception. But Samuel, in a blunder of the ages, managed to let the ball slip right through his hands, allowing Manning and the Giants to acquire yardage with the memorable helmet catch play from David Tyree. After a leaping one-handed catch that pinned the football with his right hand and the crown of his helmet for 32-yard conversion. The series ended with wide receiver Plaxico Burress scoring the winning touchdown on a 13-yard reception with 35 seconds remaining, which also ended the Patriots' close enough to touch attempt at a perfect season. The Giants defeated the Patriots by the score of 17-14, with the win regarded as one of the greatest games and the biggest upsets in the history of professional sports. So what do you think about these 5 heartbreaking moments that made Patriots fans cry? We'd love to hear what you think about them by commenting down below. And if you're new to the channel, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for future stories. Until next time.